name is Asher, and I am 2 months on testosterone. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you coming on this journey with me and for viewing this video today. So if it's the first time you've ever viewed this video, my name is Asher Steele. I'm 36 years old, and I'm only just starting my transition from female to male. So yeah, there you go. This video is mostly for my family and my friends who like to stay up to date. I live in Australia and they live in the United States. So helping them kind of come along with me on this journey so that they hear the voice changes, so that they see my facial changes and things like that. It won't be such a shock next time they see me. So let's just get into this, okay? Gosh, how things have been different. My confidence level is up. I just walk through the world with my shoulders a little bit, more up and less like hunched over. I'm more, I've got some extra muscles, I've got some extra strength. I'm just generally a lot happier with a lot less anxiety and a lot less depression. Yeah, and life is just good. And I'm really enjoying the way that starting my medical transition has really improved my life. And that's when you have gender dysphoria, the only method of therapy or treatment of gender dysphoria is to transition, whether that's socially transitioning and that's where it stops, or medically transitioning with hormones, or going on into doing additional surgeries. Everybody's journey is different. And for me, I'm starting after the social transition, I started doing the medical transition with hormones. My future plans are to also have top surgery, and there's two amazing surgeons in my area, so I'll definitely be talking to them sometime in the next year and a half. And the reason I'm waiting, not everybody waits that long. A lot of people get top surgery right away. But I've lived in this body already for 36 years, and I have dysmorphia on top of dysphoria. So if I've already lived in this body for 36 years with those problems and I've found ways to cope, I'm just wanting to take my time in making sure that I get the best results possible. Otherwise, I would have dealt with my dysphoria, but my dysmorphia is still going to be a problem. By waiting for my top surgery, what I'm doing is letting the testosterone work through my whole system to redistribute fats from my chest area to more masculine areas, reducing everything down as much as I can, building the muscle throughout my chest so that when I get the top surgery done, everything can be contoured correctly or contoured to the chest muscles that are already there. So the scars actually kind of blend in a little bit better. That's my long-term plan. I don't think I'm going to do any other surgeries beyond that at all. That's where I'm going to stop. That's where I think I'm going to be good to go. And so that's the plan. But step one, testosterone. And having been on it 2 months, I can tell you I already feel so much better. So let's go into some of the changes that happen. Typically in the first few years, you're going to see a lot of changes in your voice and in fat redistribution, body hair growth, bones thickening in certain places, muscle gains, strength even. There are some areas and more private sections that also have a tendency to grow. There are other videos out there if you want to know more about that. I'm not comfortable going through that at this time, especially with the audience that I have. So yeah, I'm not going to go into that. Coarser skin is something else that changes. Hair texture changes. Female cycles will stop, or at least only come every so often. And there are other methods that you can take, or other avenues you can take to make sure you never get a period if that's an area of severe dysphoria for anyone. Sex drives are supposed to improve, and then your general mood is different for everybody. From my understanding, I'm just going to get this out of the way to deal with myths. Testosterone does not make you angry. Okay? Testosterone doesn't do anything except, in terms of mood and attitude and personality, you will still always be who you've always been. That doesn't change. There are some things that might get accentuated. So let's say you were really easily prone to anger, you're going to be that much more prone to anger. I'm not prone to a lot of anger. I am prone to certain irritabilities. I have very particular like sounds that really bother me, or actions that really bother me, or if my routine gets messed with, where I could handle my irritability relatively well. It's like I have to, out of a level of irritability, I hit maybe like a 70 before I recognize that I'm irritated. So it's just knowing when I'm agitated that has gotten harder to decipher. So I have to get that much more irritated before I realize it and then go, oh, I need to calm down. So that's just an example of just how your personality doesn't change. I can speak. How your personality doesn't change, but the things that you're already prone to, you're just that much more prone to doing. Let's say you've got some anger problems, right? You can still work on those things, right? You can get your mind right before you start transitioning. If you're that fearful of like your anger getting that much more out of control, working on you first, I highly recommend. Or at least figure out where some of your weaknesses are and working on those weaknesses. Really, I'm struggling with English today. Working on those weaknesses ahead of time will make going into transition more. It might give you a little more peace, more at ease, and more calm about it. You're less fearful of it and less fearful of like yourself and what experiences you're going to have on testosterone. It made me feel better when I was informed, no, it's not going to change your personality. It's just going to make certain parts of your personality come off that much more strong, and therefore you need to work on those things ahead of time. So recognizing my emotions and my irritabilities, that's something that I needed to make sure that I had the tools in place to work on and recognize and be able to calm down. If I hadn't taken that time first to work on myself and go, oh, okay, when I recognize that I'm irritable, I need to do this kind of breathing, or I need to walk away, or I need to say, I'm going to need a minute if I'm in the middle of a conversation and it happens. It also means I have to listen to the people around me. So if my wife's like, excuse me, husband, I did not like the way that you said that just now. Then I'll be like, you can't, I don't get defensive. I can't, that's part of my rule, right? If I'm informed of a tone that I'm having, or if I'm informed that I might be coming off a lot more irritable than I mean to be, I need to accept that and say, okay, either one, what am I doing that's making it come off like I'm irritable? Two, okay, what's happening right now? Three, what am I actually annoyed about? And then four, what is the resolution? What do I need to do to make sure that I calm back down, or that maybe my partner, my wife, feels heard? Things like that. So anyway, this is going on and on about other things other than my transition and my experience on testosterone. But no, I guess not, because all of this is part of it, right? It's my journey is to share just, yes, about what I'm going through, and from my perspective, the things that somebody else going through transition might want to look at or see. That's kind of the point, right? Is to help other people on top of tracking my own progress. So there were my 2 cents, and we're going to move on. Let's move into the changes. I always start with the voice. I just posted a 2-month voice and facial update over the changes. So I do a clip and a picture every week, and so I put that up for you guys so you can see what I see that keeps me going and makes me feel better about when I'm feeling like, oh, my voice hasn't changed enough, or I'm not seeing enough changes. I watch that and I go, oh, actually, I've had a lot of change. It makes me feel better. So every month I put something to that effect up so that you can kind of see that quick snapshot journey with me. So that's up and available for you to watch. My voice, I think, has dropped significantly. My singing voice. So my wife and I were part of the worship team at church today. And I will admit that I could not at all in any way, shape, or form hit the alto range that I'm so used to being in. I can still hit the high mezzo-soprano area. Not sure where the logic is in your physiology of why that happens. It's like I still have this upper section, and now I have this really, really deep lower section, but the middle is gone. And I think that's because the middle is where all the growth is happening. So it's just constant cracking. I cannot at all sing in that zone and have it sound good. It's like I'm completely tone deaf when I try to sing in that section. So that's not possible. However, I hit notes today that I wouldn't have normally been able to hit. So that was actually really, really cool. It's a really low tenor right now. Body hair. Wow, the peach fuzz. Okay, so you can't see it, I think. Oh, yeah, you can a little bit. If the standard definition isn't good enough to see it, I'm not sure. If you have a high def thing, you could have seen just a little bit of peach fuzz, but it's there. And I have a few wiry hairs all throughout, and a lot of peach fuzz with a decent amount of length. And I've got peach fuzz coming in along the jaws here. So I asked the Australia female to male support group on Facebook, has anybody else experienced such fast changes on Reandron? And apparently anybody who's been on Reandron, they say the same thing. Like they saw voice drop in the first, couple of days, just like I kind of did. They have facial hair growing a lot faster than people on testosterone cypionates and ethanates. I'm still gonna do that big testosterone video. I just have not had any time this week. I'm so sorry. Where I will go over all of those different testosterones and what they do and their pros and cons and things like that, just for information's sake. But either way, I'm having so many more changes than I expected to have this quickly. Like the fat redistribution, the muscle and strength gains, the facial hair, the voice drop, all of that is just happening really, really quick, which I'm super happy about. It makes me super, super stoked. But it just was a little unexpected because most of the literature and videos out there of transitions that you'll find are people on these, weekly to tri-weekly testosterone therapies, and their experiences are very, very different. So it's just very interesting. Hair loss or changes in hairline. I don't know. I just had a haircut done today. I noticed that there was a little bit of thinning happening in the front even before I went on testosterone. My new shampoo and conditioner that I use to help rejuvenate your hair has improved it, so that's really good. If it does that, then it's not supposed to be early male pattern baldness, like the genetic kind, if you can kind of restore it relatively quickly. So hopefully I'll keep my hair for a while yet, but the barber cut it right in alignment, to make it look more masculine, which I really appreciated. And I got that neat burst fade haircut for the first time today, and I'm super stoked about it. I really like it, and it helped with my euphoria massively. Because when my hair was getting longer, I'm like, I get really depressed, and now I'm feeling a lot better. Adam's apple, you can feel it under the skin. It's getting firmer and firmer, but it's definitely not visibly there yet. Bones and face thickening. Um, the pictures, that video that shows all the different face shots, there's definitely like some water weight puffiness going on, which again, not unexpected. Most people don't see that until month 3, but of course, like if I'm already seeing all these other early changes, I figure that also was going to happen a little bit earlier. So I think that's already happening. My skeletal, or my body scan shows that I've put on like 1.2 kilos of water weight just this week, which is a lot. So I definitely need to be drinking more water. I know that is my own fault, but it also happens being on testosterone. Everything's kind of changing. My skeletal muscle went up. I think it's at almost a whole kilo just in the last few days, and I've lost quite a bit of fat mass. So a lot of times I show my weight in my face, but so I'm like, is it water weight? I don't know. Who knows? It is what it is. But like the brow and everything, I think has actually started to push a little bit more out over my eyes instead of being like back here. It's a little more forward. I feel like my cheekbones, obviously they're not going to change. It's just the way that everything kind of sits on your skeleton is a little bit different. So I think there have been some changes there, but you can be the judge of that. The things that there are other videos about out there, I'm not going to talk about. Coarser skin. No, I'm still okay. I did get a really bad acne spot right against this edge of my nose, which I'm sure you could see or can see in the video. But that's about as bad as it's gotten, is that one spot that for some reason, like 3 spots showed up in the same area, and I was like, oh no, get it under control. But I did, and so everything's fine. Super soft skin still. Muscle mass, definitely like bigger and firmer, and just the strength is insane. So the only way I can make my body masculinize is with muscle building. So luckily it's working. That makes me really, really happy. Female time. That lady time. I was due for a cycle and it never came. Yes, it never came. I'm so stoked right now. So far, so good. Nothing's broken through, and I could not be happier. Yes, no cramping, no nothing. Just living my life day to day. No cycles. Yes, so stoked. Sex drive. Not going to talk about that because of who is watching. And general mood. I kind of already talked about that at the very beginning of the video, so I'm not going to go into all of that again. Just that I feel really good. I really do. And I'm super happy with my progress. I'm super happy with my choice to medically transition. I hope that you all have enjoyed this video and that you've enjoyed my journey, or the journey with me so far. I really hope that maybe you've learned something today, or maybe you feel encouraged today because of anything I've said. I hope that sharing my journey just makes somebody out there not feel alone. Because I know the videos that I watched helped me not feel alone. So God bless all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.